I'm back here with Bruce Spizer right now, and long time Beatles. Nice to see you again.
Seeing you.
How many years this is your what number?
However number of years it's been in Louisville. I've been here in Louisville for AROTR on the river, and also went to the 3 years in Cleveland prior to it moving to Cleveland.
Okay, so you hit the Washington.
I've been to the Washington for both years as well, yeah.
All right. So we talked to David Bedford earlier. Yes. And you've written several over the years, and you're getting the American.
That's right. Well, I started writing the books from the American point of view, and I did books on the BJ records, on the Capitol records, on how the Apple records were released in the U.S. Did a book on how Beatlemania evolved in America. That one just happened to have it right here. All the Beatles are coming. The birth of Beatlemania in America. And then after doing the American books, I was kind of waiting for someone to do a good book on the British records, and nobody ever did. And so a buddy of mine, Frank Daniels, basically put a gun to my head and said, "You and I should do one." So lo and behold, there it is, Beatles for Sale on Parlophone Records.
Perfectly timed.
Yes, thank you very much. And what this book does is it covers every record that was released by the Beatles in England during the 60s. So it means every single, every album, every EP. In the back of the book has a history of EMI and how records were pressed and all kinds of things.
And you've also written books covering solo years.
Yes, I did. That book here, boy, we got to stretch down a second. This one here, Beatles solo on Apple Records. I feel like this is an infomercial.
We can do that.
All right, we can do that.
Because you do have a website.
I do have a website, which is easy to remember. It's just www.beatle.net.
And you can get all these books and, of course, the information. For some of the younger American fans, they might not even realize that there were EPs.
Right. Yeah, they were called extended play discs, and they had 2 songs on each side of the record for a total of 4 songs. And this was done, it was a very popular format in the UK because youngsters couldn't afford to buy albums. And most albums had like about 2, 3, 4 good songs on it and then a bunch of filler. So if you bought the EP with 4 good songs off an album, why would you want the album? But with the Beatles, every song was a good song.
That is true. But it's just a little bonus.
Yeah, and the thing about it was the Beatles dominated the EP charts every time they released an EP. But eventually, because the Beatles and other groups began producing quality albums, basically the Beatles helped kill the extended play as a format, because now kids wanted to buy the entire album rather than just the best 4 songs from it.
And the Beatles also gave fans a bonus because a lot of them sing songs within the elevator.
That's right, and then, you know, they tried to give you good value for your money. I think they did. I mean, you know, the White Album was 90 minutes of music on 2 discs. Abbey Road was over 40 minutes of music. So you got good value. Not only the quality of the songs, but the quality of the music is also very good value.
So then what year did you become a Beatles?
I was 8 years old when the Beatles arrived in America, and I was hooked instantly after hearing "I Want to Hold Your Hand" on the school bus radio. That did it. School bus radio.
You don't even have that anymore.
No, it really don't. That really dates me, you know. You know, it really dates me. I remember giving a talk about the Beatles, and I talked about the Beatles 45s, and some kid said, "You mean the Beatles had guns?" And I thought, "Oh my goodness." So,
do you have to sometimes explain what records are?
You do, and then when you try to explain the significance of the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show, and you say, you know, imagine a time when families only have 1 TV if they have 1 TV at all. You explain a variety show and how important it was that people got to see the Beatles. And then some kid will raise his hand and will say, but what about the Beatles DVDs? I have to explain that DVDs had not been invented then, or even conceived of then, much less being able to buy them.
But thankfully there are DVDs now, and there's a way for kids to read about it in this day and age.
Absolutely.
It certainly was a phenomenal time, and you know, a lot of it had to do with the radio on the and of course, you get into
yeah, you know, and the great thing though is it always impresses me with the number of young people that want to learn more about the Beatles, and fortunately a lot of them still like books. So, you know, I sell books to young people, I sell books to people my age, all ages. So that's the great thing about the Beatles. It really goes through all generations.
I can certainly vouch for the quality of these books because I've bought several of them. Some once they're out of print, that's good when they're gone. But it's really important to check out the website, and once again, it is
www.beatle.net.
Bruce, thank you very much. Nice to meet you.
Good seeing you again.
All right.
Bye.